Howdy, listeners. This is your host, Random Nerd, on the Critical Thinking Nerd podcast. Before I get started, if you've noticed the varying sound quality recently, I've been trying out various microphones recently, and I just got a minor upgrade. So I hope you enjoy the sound quality moving forward, and I look forward to utilizing the better equipment. Well, it's New Year's Eve. Boy, what a year. I'm closing out 2025 with this episode. Words cannot describe how rough, emotional, and exhausting 2025 has been. And boy, ending 2025 with the Minneapolis, Minnesota daycare fraud is one way to go out with style. So let's talk about it. An independent researcher, Nick Shirley, did the work many Americans are demanding the FBI and DOJ to do themselves. Going out and investigating known fraud that the public sentiment has been massively frustrated about. I'm not going to share details. That's for you to dig through the noise. But I will share this. And really, this next question I share with all my listeners, not just US-based, but my overseas listeners as well. Why do you tolerate fraud and corruption? Seriously, if your identity was stolen or even a fraudulent banking transaction happened to you, you would pounce on that in a heartbeat. We all pay taxes. It's just part of the system we live in. Wouldn't you demand to know how your tax dollars are being spent and specifically what your tax dollars are being spent on? This isn't rocket science. This is basic math and financial management. Why do you tolerate this financial corruption and blatant fraud? As for those involved, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and alleged involvement of Somalian organizations, even including tax money being sent to Somalia-linked terrorist organizations. And for anyone who says I'm being racist or is saying that this whole situation is racist, look at yourself in the mirror and truly ask yourself, would you tolerate strangers stealing your money? Stealing your tax money? What's the point at all of paying taxes if the tax money pot is being stolen from? I know, thinking is hard, but thinking is the only way for we the people to remind our leaders whom holds the power. Let me remind you of something. Former Democrat president candidate Kamala Harris raised $1.1 or $1.2 billion of campaign funding. Her campaign even invited numerous celebrities to endorse Harris as the next president for the 2024 election. But after the election, it was reported the Harris campaign financials were $20 million in debt. I'm not here to poke at sides. I'm here to tell you the United States of America dodged a major bullet economically. And guess who was Harris's vice president pick? Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The very Minnesota elected official who's being investigated for involvement in this Minnesota daycare fraud case. Society and politics are major factors that are interwoven with a sovereign nation. But the biggest factor, economics. Here is my challenge to you for 2026. Learn economics. It doesn't have to be a whole course. Just learn some basics. Wherever you're listening from, learn economics. For my US listeners, YouTube has been a wonderful friend to me for years, and I'm still learning. Simply type in economic basics and soak up as much videos, podcasts, and even audiobooks. I'm not saying for you to become an expert. My challenge is simply to learn economics. For my overseas listeners, same thing. Whatever platform you have of YouTube version, type in economic basics and build your video algorithm on economics. At the end of the day, this is your tax money being spent on who knows what. Best way to know is ask questions and gather spending documents. With 2026 around the corner, my podcast will continue with more episodes on the positive masculinity series and some philosophy topics. The societal topics have been discussed, and while there's still plenty to research on, everything seems to blend together. And even many news reports on different political topics and shifting societal issues. My email is open for any feedback, or if you want to request a topic of discussion, please send me an email at criticalthinkingnerd@gmail.com. Also, my other podcast, In Sessions Media Truth Talks, with my co-host Meg Opinionated, is expanding on various topics. Lots of things are moving positively and quickly on the back end, so bear with me if I have many breaks. But I'm still here. I might even share some of my personal life with you, but that'll be special treats for my listeners who want to hear more. With that said, I bid 2025 adieu and wish you all a wonderful and safe Happy New Year. I'll see you next time in 2026. And as always, thank you so very much for your listening ear. For truth, transparency, and fairness, this is your host, Random Nerd. If you found this episode meaningful, please continue to listen to my next episode as I dive deeper and research further to share my knowledge with you. Thank you.